Welcome to our version of Let's Play Farming Simulator 2013 on the Glenmalure farm. Alright, we had a couple things going on today. As you can see, I brought the header over here, so this field needs to be harvested at some point in the near future. Obviously, not at the moment. But what we do got is we got the the International. He's currently seeding this field. This is field 9 down here. This is what Greg were actually reminding me to seed. I totally forgot I actually had this field, so he pointed that out to me, so thanks very much, Greg. So I got this guy started on doing that. Another thing we got going on is just selling a little bit of silage at the moment, going back and forth with that. So with the time being, we're trying to make a little bit of money here, basically what it boils down to, so it's working out well. Our cows seem to be okay for the time being, so I figured might as well sell some silage, make a little bit of money. We're still waiting for that great demand, which is supposed to be coming up. Oops, that was right there. Canola, great demand in 2 days, and sugar beets in a day. I think we have a bit of both, actually, now that I think about it. Yeah, we got sugar beets and canola, so we're waiting for those great demands to come, and the pigs, actually, so. What we'll do is I'll have to fertilize a few fields first, and then I'll accelerate time a little bit there, and then we'll be able to hopefully make a little bit more money, and we'll see where we're at the end of that. I'm not sure how much money we're gonna make, but I'm sure it'll be a good chunk of change. So this is episode 29 of the series, actually, and like I said, I was gonna do about 30 episodes or so. A couple of great suggestions from various people. I know a couple people have chimed in and said I should check out this map or that map. Iron Horse has been a big suggestion for a lot of people. Had one person suggest Two Rivers. Two Rivers is actually a map I've considered playing on before. I know North Warrior really likes that map, and it would be something that he would just love to see, I'm sure. So it's a definite possibility. Need to check out Iron Horse. I was watching TCGG Rob. He was doing an episode on hayfield farms. So I was just seeing that yesterday, actually. I was watching that yesterday, and he was saying, got a chance to check it out, basically. It looks pretty solid, actually, which is also another possibility. I know some other people suggested that, so lots of good suggestions there. Greg says maybe some smaller vintage machinery. That's definitely a possibility, Greg. We could do that on one of the smaller maps, maybe. Chris asks about whether I'm using a texture mod. No, I'm not. Just a standard one. Craft Farm suggests maybe I check out the White Pines version 3 on American Eagle modding. I'll need to take another look at that one. I've seen it before, and there was something I didn't like about it a whole lot, but I know it's a pretty decent map regardless. What else do we got here? Yeah, Daniel was the one who said check out Two Rivers. What else do we got here? Alvingham. That's another one by Nathan suggests I check that one out. That's another one by Chris7710, 7710, however you want to say it. Hayfield, another suggestion we got. Zachary says I should try the Canada map. Maybe for the big map, not for the one after this one, probably though. Ryan asked for a shout out. Hey Ryan, how's it going? What else do we got here? Greg says don't forget Field 90. I already mentioned that one. I don't think is there anything else. Greg also commented on the fact that I mentioned the farm all on the modern American farming map and the 1206, and he was saying that he agrees that we worked perfectly fine with the mixer, but for whatever reason that New Holland does not like it at all. Don't know why it's the case, but it does not like it for whatever reason, so it's kind of strange how that works out when you have one tractor which is technically supposed to be a bigger tractor, but it doesn't work nearly as well. It's kind of strange. Kiss Rules 1973 says I should play on Pleasant Valley version 1, 2, or 3. Like I said to him in the comments, that's a bit of a big map, but probably not for me by myself, maybe. What else do we got here? Richie says I should wait till Spring Hill Valley, which is the next NI modding map they're talking about doing, or they're actually in progress, or working on, I should say. Declan says it's a hard map. I should try out the Bretham map. I think that's how you pronounce it. We got someone says BD Betterline, I guess supposed to be. Says let's check out the Iowa map. Lots of suggestions for the various maps. So far, most people have said Iron Horse has been like the most suggested map so far, at least. So we'll see how that goes out. I know it's a pretty decent map, so I will have to inspect the map to see how it is. Also got this guy set up doing the nurse run right here. Obviously I can't fertilize the field yet because we're currently using this guy. He actually is doing a pretty good job by himself. I thought he was going to run to the wall every second there. Do we have... No, we don't have any other tractors. Not ones that could actually use... Not ones that could actually use the you-know-what. The fertilizer spreader, the slurry tank, basically. So, it's a bit on the fortunate side, but... Oh, well. Now that I say he didn't get stuck, now he gets stuck, right? Go figure. Must have been just the angle, I suppose. But yeah, lots of great suggestions, so I appreciate the suggestions very much for the upcoming map. Oops, it helps if you turn it on, Ian. You can tell how often I seed myself, eh? Jeez. Lots of great suggestions for the upcoming map. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. There's some super awesome suggestions there, and I'll have to take them all into consideration before I make a decision in the end. At this point in time, it seems like I'm kind of leaning towards Iron Horse Farm for whatever reason, but I'll have to check it out first, of course. That's just the way I roll. Don't like playing a map I haven't checked out yet, so... Maybe I should open it up to voting on the website. That would be kind of interesting, actually, for the upcoming season. Some people went as far... Well, some people suggested that I actually open up a multiplayer server and record an episode on that a day. Something like what Direwolf does with his server play, I guess, is what they were thinking of. It's a possibility. The only problem is they don't know everybody I'll be playing with, so... one of the biggest problems I'll run into in that scenario is... etiquette, I suppose. I don't know how everyone would talk, for example, if I'm recording a video. So, for instance, if there's profanity for whatever reason, I wouldn't want to put that on YouTube because that's just not my style. Prefer not to have it, sort of idea, stuff like that, basically. So that would be the one downfall of having that multiplayer server, but it's something I could do. I know it's, I talked to a couple people about multiplayer servers and how easy they are to manage, and from what I gather, it's not necessarily the hardest thing in the world, but it's not super easy either, so... A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B, it sounds like. Alright, so all I can do is going to do one more headland here, and that should be enough, or one little, yeah, I guess it's a headland, sure. That should be enough space for him to do his thing. We'll see what happens, though. Got our pigs back up to 100% productivity there, and hopefully that will allow us to get a few more pigs, because we do have a great demand coming up in a day, and also sugar beets coming up, so we'll be able to sell some of those, so that'll be awesome. Once we get all that set up, hopefully we'll make a good chunk of change, but no guarantee, of course. It's a small map, so you don't tend to see the enormous increases in cash like I do on the Central Kansas farm, of course. But that's just the way it goes, right? So, alright. That's a bit too fast there. There we go. Line that guy up there. Let's hop back to the Unimog here. Like I said, we're going to use the Unimog, sell a little bit of silage, make a little bit of money. I'd like to be able to get the Joskin trailer before we end of the series. But you never know, right? It is kind of pricey. I kind of need like 200 grand for it, so I may have to make some accommodations, I suppose. There we go. Nice. And he's just chilling out still. I really don't need him running, I suppose, but I'll just turn him off for the time being. And what I will do, actually, while this guy's just chilling out here, is I'll just move him over to their field. I think I have enough space here. Should be okay. So it's funny, after a long time, like If you remember when I first started this map, I originally said I was going to do, raise sheep on this map, but it didn't happen in the end because you need the more realistic mod, and I don't have the more realistic mod installed, so that's the reason why we never got it, because I didn't want to skew the amount of silage we got and stuff like that. So that was the main reason why we never got it in the end. So what I actually ended up doing was a couple people suggested that I get sheep on the... Why am I bouncing around like this? Jeez. Some people suggested I get sheep on the Central Kansas map, so I finally got around to getting some sheep there. It's kind of funny after so long, but that is the way it goes sometimes. Alright, there we go. Nice. Let's just line this guy up out of the way here. That should be good there. Good for the time being, at least. How far is this guy? He thinks he's done. He's not, of course. This is why you gotta babysit this guy a little bit. I suppose this is where Auto Tractor would come into play. Like, I'm sure Auto Tractor would work perfectly with this size of implement, but the problem is I don't have it installed, so... it was kept giving me troubles with Courseplay, and I used Courseplay a lot more than I used Auto Tractor, so it was one or the other basically for me, so out goes Auto Tractor for me at least. It was an easy decision at least. Maybe not for everybody, but it was an easy decision for me. Yeah. It's a gorgeous day here where I live. Really nice weather we're having here, so I imagine a lot of farmers are outside doing some planting. We had a little bit of, maybe not, I don't know, it depends on how moist the soil is. But today would be a really great day to plant, assuming the soil was ready for seeds basically. So, but we've had a lot of wet weather here, so a lot of farmers haven't been able to get out in the field yet. They're just itching to get out there though, so a lot of people trying to put down some fertilizers or various nutrients into the soil, but they haven't got around to it yet, just because there's been a crazy amount of rain around here. So it hasn't been possible for every farmer yet to do to get out there and plant as early as they'd like. I know for soybeans we're still okay for soybeans, but for some other crops it might be getting a bit late. I'm not sure about corn. I think corn's like one of those crops that you have a very small window to plant. And as I understand, there actually has been some farmers who have opted to change out corn for something else because their window of opportunity has ended already basically. So unfortunately for them, they weren't able to plant corn like they wanted to basically. So, but that's the way it goes sometimes, you know. As a farmer, you're always gambling, you know, no matter what you do. So it's one of those situations where, you know, sometimes you're damned if you do, damned if you don't, sort of idea. So, but you know, it's the life of a farmer, right? One year could have a really lucrative year. Next year it could be, you know, you get a blight or something and then you lose your crop. You know, that's what it's like every year. So always makes me you know, consider, like, if you consider the job you have, for example, if you have a job and you know how regular your income comes in, whereas as a farmer it's like you only get money when you sell your crop, and if your crop didn't come in you don't get any money. So situations like that, it's pretty scary when you think about it, because the word that comes to mind is you are gambling basically. You're not relying on no hourly wage or anything like that. If you're a dairy farmer, it's a bit different because you do get, well, in Ontario at least, you get paid for your quota basically, but you have to meet your quota and manage your herd, right? So all that type of stuff, it all comes into play. So alright, almost done this field, and then we can start fertilizing, finally. This field's a nice little small field, so it's not so bad. Now that I think about it, I probably should have got a bigger seeder, but it's too late now. 3 meters is a bit small, and I would have liked something a bit bigger, but alas, didn't happen, right? So it's the way it goes. Alright, here's the last pass here. And we'll back up and do, I'll turn around here, I guess. I know there's a few places around the outside of the field here that actually didn't get seeded because I was using a hard worker, so we're just going to go check that. Yeah, there's a place right there. Doesn't really bother me that much, but there's a bigger spot up here. There it is. That never got seeded, so... Although having this set up like this, being able to cultivate and seed at the same time is just so nice to have it, because then it makes your life, you know, you don't have to do one pass as opposed to two passes now. It doesn't fertilize at the same time, mind you, but outside that, that's pretty darn good. Alright. There we go. Let's get this last little bit here. And then we'll zip up and get the slurry tanker. Alright. Perfect. Nice. Let's hop in the cab here. And that's a pull. Whoops. Alright, so let's see if we can't get all these fields fertilized, and then we'll go from there. So it's seeming like the next episode will be, hey, we have tons of money because we're selling everything episode. That's the feeling I get, at least, so. Still haven't moved those bales of straw yet. Hasn't been a need as of yet, but it'll come, I'm sure of that. Alright, let's lower the seeder there. There we go. And we'll grab the slurry tanker here. Got PTO in the back. Nice. As you can see, I just left the Buckeye rake there because it's not doing anything for us. That's what it boils down to. There we go. Let's get the last of the silage here. I don't think it's all going to fill this trailer up, but it might. No, it's going to be more than that. Oh yeah. It's funny, there's an old skit from, I think it's Royal Canadian Air Force, something like that. And one of the characters, he always does this one thing, like, it's a scene where they're in the coffee shop. And they're talking about politics and whatnot, and at the end of the scene, they always have this, like, certain sequence of things they will do. Or say, I should say. And one person always says, "You got that right," and the other guy goes, "Oh gosh, totally just forgot what I was going to say there." And the other guy basically says, "What does he say? Oh no, no! How did I forget this?" Oh yeah, that's what he says. Oh my goodness, that's what he says at the end there. So always makes me laugh when I say something like that. All right, let's get this field fertilized. Yeah, that's what they say at the end of this scene. There's a joke, of course, related to it, but that's how they sign off at the end of the episode. One person will be one person will say, "Oh yeah, oh yeah." One person will be putting sugar into their drink. I don't know. I don't know what happened there. Good thing it's you could drive through it. Jeez. I'm gonna turn my sound off. You'll be able to hear it, but I won't hear it because I turned it off. Anyways, it's a Canadian show, so it's unlikely that everyone has seen it. If you're Canadian, you probably have heard of it, but it does deal with a lot of politics, so if you're not into politics, perhaps you haven't heard it. It's a good show, though. It's an older one, I think, now. I think they still have it on television. I don't know. I got rid of cable a long time ago, so if it's still on television, I have no idea. Basically, that's what it boils down to. Some people often ask, how do you live without cable? And I say, I still have the internet. That's what it boils down to. Netflix and YouTube is what it boils down to these days for entertainment. It's surprising how much amazing entertainment there is out there on YouTube alone. Like, you take example of what I'm doing here. There's not Field 24, is there? Here's Field 24. Oh, it's way down there. Don't have enough money, even if it's on sale. Yeah, you take what I'm doing, for example, making a video for you guys every single day, and you guys watching it. Like, that's what some people do with television on television, right? So, like, they watch their Matlocks, if you're from that age, I guess, or you watch your 90210s again, if you're from that age. What would be a new show? The Voice, maybe, or something like that. Those are the shows you might watch, for example. So, all those sorts of shows But people do that same thing online all the time. Like, for example, what I do is I watch Netflix a lot, and I watch a lot of YouTube. So when one of the people I subscribe to releases a new video, I go check it out. It's something I'm interested in, I'll watch it, of course. And if I'm not interested, because, you know, can't be interested in everything. That would be ridiculous if we were that way, right? So, alright, perfect. Let's get that last 2 little pieces I missed there, apparently. Yeah, so like I said, it's hard to be interested in everything. Like, I know some people don't enjoy this series as much as the other series, but they still enjoy it, just not as much, so I understand that. I like bigger maps as opposed to smaller maps here, so, and there's vice versa. Some people like smaller maps rather than bigger maps, so just the way it goes. I know I prefer North American style maps as these, but these maps definitely look a lot more picturesque than most American maps I've seen. So depends on what you're looking for, I suppose. I try and mix it up and do a little bit of both. It seems like the smaller maps I tend to choose are European. There aren't many smaller American maps out there, minus the minus the old family farm, which I've already played on once before. So other than that, I haven't honestly seen too many small American style maps, good ones I should say. There definitely are some out there, but not necessarily always good ones. Which is always the problem you run into, because you're trying to find good maps, right? You don't want to play on a map that's not interesting for you, so... That's why some people like what the American Eagle modding guys and girls are doing over there, because it's more American style, and if that's what they like to play on, then that's what they like to play on, so makes sense. They did release a new map, actually, not too long ago. I forget what it's called. I think it's the Northeast Iowa map, I want to say it's called. Something like that. I checked it out, it's not too bad. I would probably modify it if I were to play on it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think they have some of them on there that actually have stuff like the green manure mod, which is like with weeds and whatnot. And there's some other things on there, but this guy's probably chilling out here. F5. We want him at what field is that over there? F4. Is he gonna drive straight on? Yes, he is. Good. Anyways, let's deal with this guy while we're here. Yeah, so that's why some people like to play on those maps. I don't know. I try and mix it up. Like, this is a much different styled map than I'm used to, but I really like the map, so it all comes down to those types of things, right? If you don't enjoy playing on the map, then probably not going to be fun to play on it, so... And that's just the way it is. Which is why, if I tend to not to be having fun on a map, I probably either stop playing on it, or I'd probably be pretty honest with you guys, say, you know what guys, I'm not having fun playing this map. But that's one of the reasons why I tend to choose the maps really carefully, because I like having fun playing the game. Just like everybody else does. Anyways. Oh man. Well, that's not too bad. We're at 50 grand already. So once we get that great demand, maybe we'll get a good chunk of change. We still got maybe 1 or 2 loads left of the silage there, so shouldn't be too bad. Is he full yet? Not quite. I suppose I should be using flotation tires or something on this instead of driving with these. Like, or, well, I guess you would have probably... At this stage in the growing season, you probably would have dualies on it. Well, maybe, I don't know. Depending on the farmer, I imagine, but if you're fertilizing your field, I'm not sure. I guess because this is liquid slurry, I imagine they probably would, but I don't know. My father-in-law does not use this to fertilize his fields because he does not have any animals, but he does hire somebody to do this, though. And not with animal organic products. He definitely hires that. I think it's a co-op that does it for him at least. I'm not sure. But he also has another guy around the area who does some contracting with it. It's all good. What's the traffic with? Maybe it's the pig trailer. If I were to drive, could you imagine doing this in real life and like having to try and this always makes me wonder what it's like. You probably would have to do it slower because you would probably be driving like this, constantly looking back to make sure you've sprayed in the right place, but it does make it slightly more difficult, right? And if you were playing in real life, if you were doing this in real life, you probably would have to be a bit more careful about putting too much on, because if you put too much on and it rains, you get so many problems. Oh man, it's ridiculous. Real life's so much more difficult. That's what it pulls down to. What's this guy? Oh, it's him. Let's move the Zill out of the way then. I thought he'd be okay, but I guess not. Alright, let's just back him up here. I suppose I could use the, I think it's 2? 1? No? I know there are mirrors you can look at, but the mirrors are so tiny on this truck that it's hard to even tell the mirrors are on. And you can see behind there. Oh man. There we go. Nice. That should be enough space. Good. Alright. Let's get the last little bit here. I don't think I recorded a fertilization course for the last part. I don't know. I can't remember. Ah, of course. Run out of fertilizer. Just my luck. Again. Well. Too many vehicles just chilling out apparently. Alright. There we go here. How much silage do we have left? Maybe 1 or 2 more loads. And the price has dropped. Shoot. Totally forgot about that. What's the price at? I keep forgetting the price actually changes on this silage. Oh, it's not too bad. Like... Honestly, on this map, if you're going to make money, it's going to be on silage. Like, I make more money from silage on this map than I do in crops, easily. That's what it seems like. And is that good? Well, maybe not good, because it is kind of easier, I suppose, but it is a little bit more accurate because people do make more money, or people do that, oh, well, they make more silage out there, right, so... He's not quite full yet. Almost. Oh, there he's full now. Alright, so that'll be another 15 grand or so, so we'll be up to around 60 something. Somewhere in that range. That'll be good. That'll give us a nice, good head start for the last episode of the season. There may be a day or two between these series changing over. We'll see. I'm not 100% yet. I don't know. I think I should have enough time this week to change over, not without a problem. But you never know. I like to do a little bit of setup, as I'm sure you're aware by now. All right, he is just chilling out. He needs some more fertilizer. This guy's coming back. Excellent. All right, let's go. Turn around here. Let's try and drive on the outside of the field. That's probably a little bit more accurate than driving straight through the middle. But at this point, I've driven through the middle so many times, I don't think it makes a difference. But, alright. As I drive from the middle of the field again. Jeez. There we go. Nice. Good. What do we have? We got field 9 is the last field that we need to fertilize, because these are both fertilized now. Field 3 is good. So yeah, so what I'll do is I'll fertilize field 9 off camera, I think. And what I'll try and do is we'll see if we can't get that Joskin trailer. And this little thing is not as helpful as I would have liked it to have been, but oh well. Yeah, that's what I'll do. So I'll fertilize the last field off camera, and then we'll come back, and maybe for the last episode we'll do a bit longer of an episode and finish up all we can want to finish up on the map here, and then we'll move on to the next farm. Yep, that's what we're going to do. That is what we're going to do. Alright, So that's it for today, folks. My name's Iain. Robson has been Farming Simulator 2013, and we're playing on the Glenmalure farm. I will catch you guys later.